Well, Kieran, under 23s have a league game today against Queen's Park Rangers. You've strengthened that group with the signing of 2 more players. Just talk about those. There's Kobe Chong, first and foremost.
Yeah, Kobe was somebody that Sam Gorkran spotted in a non-league showcase game, and he's been in with us for probably about 4 weeks or so in terms of training. Obviously played in the game at Spalding, so there was a number of our supporters there would have seen him score twice, and he's trained really well. He's got an interesting background. He's spent time in Italy playing for a couple of years, sort of between the ages of 15 and 17. He's been playing for Sutton Coldfield recently and been doing very well at that level, and he's one that we just see real potential in. You know, we see some real potential, something we'd like to work with for a year, and it's another good example of good recruitment.
And the other lad, Andrew, I can't pronounce his surname.
Oliver Borey.
That's the one, yes. Just talk about him, because again, he played in that Spalding game.
He played in the Spalding game, again similar. Again, you know, Sam, as his job is in terms of recruitment, has been speaking to people. Andrew was at Huddersfield, spent a little bit of time with Man City with them, having a look at him while he was at Huddersfield, and didn't get a contract offer at Huddersfield. So, you know, with Sam's contacts, we were made aware of him. Again, he's been on trial for a period of time, which has been important, that we spent a good while with him and tried to get to know him a little bit as young men and what their characters are like. He did well in the game against Spalding. He's got really good balance. He can go past players, good cross of the ball. So again, another one that we're looking forward to working with. We see potential, and we can give them a year. And with the games program now that we've got under 23 level, you know, sort of 30 games a season, there'll be plenty of opportunities for them to develop and play against good opposition. And we'll see how they do this year.
And speaking to Sam before the interview, he doesn't like going on the camera, Sam, and that's probably good because no one really wants to see him. But it's important that you have contacts, isn't it? And that's part of recruitment, isn't it? Getting relationships with these clubs so that you can bring these players in.
It's really important that with the 23s, it gives the players that have got potential that extra period of time, maybe a couple of years, you know, to get ready to be established members of the first team squad. And there's different ways we can do that. Our priority is obviously getting players through our own system, through our schoolboy program, through the 18s into that. That's always a priority, and always a pathway, and something we're always striving to make sure that happens and is happening now. And then you've got obviously the opportunities to, as we've shown there, you know, we're recruiting players who have been released by other clubs, or recruiting really good young players out of non-league, and these are 2 examples of that, and they're the pathways, and that's Sam's job, and obviously he's expanding with the 23s and the young professionals. But that's his job. He's got a number of scouts working for him, and it's vital that we maintain that network, as you've said.
Yeah, and just away from the 23s, the 18s have started their season. They've started really well. I know that there was defeat at the weekend, but played very well by all accounts. And given what they've had to deal with during the summer and the beginning to the season, Simon and his small band of Barry men have done a good job.
They have. Look, they're the real disruption. You put your plan in place for a 6-week pre-season program, and halfway through they missed 2 weeks. You know, through COVID issues, which I'm sure we're not the only club that's had to deal with that. I'm sure of that, but we have to deal with it, and we've dealt with it as best we can. They went into the first game against Charlton. That was their first 90 minutes. And they've played some really good football. They've played with a real identity in terms of how we want to play football, which has been the most pleasing thing. You know, we'll always be striving and pushing to ensure they carry on recognising the areas they need to improve, but also really highlighting the positives. And there's been plenty of those in the 2 games that they've played so far.